The
But
moment
yes,
we've all been waiting for, though. Just talk about the card that mattered this weekend. Hey.
all right. So which ones are we starting off with here? Is it
Yeah, so we'll start
let
with
me
the
see
main
here.
event. We
King
got
God.
Andrade versus Lineker, which is the
Oh, we'll start with the main
rematch.
event. Okay.
Um, if you guys haven't seen the first fight, I believe it's on YouTube. It was a fucking war. It ended with the gnarliest stoppage I've ever seen, which was Andrade landing a knee like this because he lands knees a lot, uh, straight to the cup of Lineker. That shattered the cup, uh, and they had to throw the cup out and cancel the fight. So it was a no contest. So they're like, we got to book this again. I don't know if you saw the face off, but they're doing the face off like for the press and stuff. And Andrade
Yeah.
pulls out a cup
Lineker
and gives
walks
it
up.
to
Yeah, yeah.
Lineker.
It looked like
That's so
Lineker was
funny.
walking up, covering his nuts too, as he was walking
Yeah,
forward. It was so funny. It was
yeah.
awesome.
And then yeah, so the fight happens. Lineker says he brought the steel cup this time, uh, which for sure just wear the steel cup always. Uh, but the fight delivered. God damn. Once again, I knew going into this, like, there's no way after the first fight that this is going to be boring. And the first round of this fight was insane. Both these guys just hurting each other. Andrade with this step in knee up the middle to the body to the face. It's a perfect weapon against someone like Lineker because he's so much shorter. But man, Lineker just throwing bombs the whole fight. He's just throwing bombs that normally flatline people, but Andrade is just taking them.
Lineker, watching this, I'm like, dude, you forget just how powerful and how good
Yeah,
Lineker is because he's out of the UFC. Maybe you don't watch him as often. I know you do. But for other MMA fans that might not be tuning into ONE FC and they're watching Formula One instead,
yeah.
they might forget, And dude, he's such an angry little man. Like you
I
see him
know,
going around
dude.
the ring, and he throws so much behind all his shots. He cracked Andrade a couple times,
Yeah.
and
Andrade just no
so
selling it too, just taking bombs
dude,
and
the
just
chin.
it's
I do
crazy.
some of those shots. I was like, how is he still standing? And
Yeah.
so a couple things. Lineker's first round, extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Then after that, I feel like we unlocked a new legendary character in the first half, Lineker.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
like that
yeah.
first half of any new round, he's still super explosive, and then
Fucking
after that, he just
animal,
gets
dude.
picked apart, man.
Yeah.
Andrade did such a good job leading in with that jab. You mentioned
Mhm.
mixing in the knees to the body, but I felt like from the second round on, the second half of every one of those rounds, it was just Andrade picking him
All
apart with some
Andrade.
shots, man. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was just beautiful to see, man. Look, I mean, there's another solid shot. Look at that.
Well, it was perfect too because Andrade, he started throwing just straight punches. Just straight
Hmm.
punches and the knee up the middle. That's literally the only weapons he needed in this fight. Because Lineker's going in, throwing those big haymakers. They were still landing, but you have to beat those to the punch sometimes. And that's
So
when,
loud.
dude, and yeah,
Every
it's
time he
super
connected.
loud.
Oh my God.
And Andrade just, I mean, in the fourth round, he like hit a new gear because the third round it kind of seemed like he took it off.
Yeah.
He really wasn't doing much in the third round, but he also threw. I mean, he must have thrown like 200 punches by the end of the second round. Um, and then that fourth round, he started just mixing up the hand speed and like doubling up on punches. And I was just like, this guy is so impressive. He's so impressive. And Lineker was just wearing everything because he's tough as nails. Um, but yeah, after that fourth round, I think the last 30 seconds of the fourth round, Lineker was in the corner and Andrade was just piecing him up. And it looked like Lineker was like about to just like take a knee at that point. Like he was just getting beat up. And I was like, oh man, that might be the beginning of the end. And then his coaches stopped it in between rounds. And I was like, this we need more
Live to
of.
fight another day.
Yeah. His coach said, I know
He
people
was getting
probably
picked
hate me.
apart, man. He was getting
Yeah,
picked apart.
it was
He
the
was
right
taking a lot of
call.
damage.
His
Yeah.
eye was completely swollen at that point. His coach put out a statement saying, like, look, I know people probably are mad at me for calling the fight, but both his eyes were swollen shut. And I'm not gonna send him back out there. And
Good
that's
move.
how it should be.
Good
That's how it
move.
should be.
Yeah.
People forget
And
this is
then
the first time Lineker has lost outside of the UFC, and people forget even in the UFC, his only two losses since he lost to Ali Bagotinov at flyweight in 2014, who was a title contender, and then ever since 2014, his only two losses up until this point were a decision loss to TJ and a split decision loss to Sanhagen. Like the
never
guy's
heard of
still
those guys.
very elite. Yeah, never heard of those bad losses. So Andrade should be on everybody's radar as a top talent in fighting. He's so good. He's so good.
Fabricio de Andrade. Yes, fantastic. And then again, the shots, right? The confetti.
Yeah, the
Everything
gold
goes
confetti
dark. The
everywhere.
gold confetti starts coming down, and the drama. He's laying down crying, holds the belt. He's got confetti stuck to his face. It
Yeah,
was good stuff, dude.
just went
Good
through a
stuff.
war. I mean, he was getting cracked the entire fight. I
Dude,
mean,
so I look last night. Like I said, I started watching the fights later,
yeah,
right? Because I had so much going on during the day. I had to work all day, and then still had some more
mhm.
stuff going on after.
So much
And so I
Formula
started
One on
watching the.
Friday.
Oh fuck my god! I was up late watching all these episodes. Anyways, it's a long story, but yeah, I'm watching these UFC fights, and I'm like, man, I'm starting to get really tired. I'm starting to get sleepy. Started watching some of this OneFC. And your boy woke up again. I think I texted you, right? I was like,
Yeah,
Andrade versus Lineker. Oh my god.
yeah. Did you start from the main event and work backwards, or did you go through in like the
No.
regular progression?
Well, this is the one thing I don't like about the UFC on or
Prime.
the OneFC on Prime is that like they don't have the separate fights where I can just
Yeah.
go and click on them. Like I have to start in the very beginning and then I have to fast forward to the fights
Hmm.
that we're going to cover, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk to Chaudhry about that?
Yeah.
Just
Uh,
text him.
so I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have the individual fights, but I do like kind of being forced to watch them as they went because that's like we talk about like the story of the fight. Obviously, that's the name of the podcast and stuff. But like each event has like its own story too. You know what I mean? And like sometimes the buildup from how the night was going makes the main event that much better. So like jumping into the main event first, sometimes you lose some of that. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I do like watching it in the order that they actually happened because sometimes that really helps. Um, but Keith going hard against the UFC in the chat.
Jeez.
I'm dissing the UFC because they basically follow the money regardless of anything else that actually matters in martial arts discipline. You have Dana advertising UFC's slap crap.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
and
that's
that's the
been
big
out of
difference
control
between
too.
like the mentality of the promotions. Like ONE FC is very much focused on like the martial arts of it and all that stuff, um, which is cool, and it goes through into the fights. Like it bleeds into the actual fights themselves, um, and I mean they just put on bangers. It's
Put on
nothing but
bangers,
bangers over
man.
there.
All right.
So we can move on.
Let's see which one's the one we're covering.
So next
So
one's gonna be Tawanchai versus Yusupov.
yes,
Fucking
yes.
Tawanchai,
This
man.
was fast.
Tawanchai is fast.
The fight itself was fast.
So Tawanchai, before we even get into this, they had this fight at the Lupini Stadium in Thailand, which is like a legendary stadium, which is why they have the ring there instead of the cage. Um, and it was kind of a bummer because I don't know if it's because of the stadium they couldn't because they were asking like for feedback and stuff like, hey, were the cameras worse than normal? Did you notice anything different? Like anything like that? They didn't have the big screens for the walkouts, things like that. And I'm wondering if
Mm.
it's because it's maybe not physically feasible at Lupini Stadium. Um, but the trade off is you get to see Tawanchai return to Lumpini, where he started when he was like 15 years old, and the crowd was fucking crazy for him. You watch this with audio?
Yes.
In every single time he moved, the crowd is exploding.
Oh,
I,
like everything.
that's the one downside that the fight was so fast. I wanted more of that crowd reacting to everything he was doing, but instead he just started swinging baseball bats at Yusupov's legs.
That was gnarly, man. I
Insane.
think that's the first time I've personally ever seen that where it's just a solid leg kick to the thigh,
Normally, it's the
and
buildup, you
yeah, and
know.
then he's like, "Oh, nope, can't." Dude,
I
he
want
was
to know
just
what
in
happened.
agony right away.
I don't know if he like cracked his femur or something, or what it was, or if it just shut down the whole leg. But you look at Yusupov. I mean, the guy's shredded. He's got. I mean, how many fights does he have? I mean, he's
Hey, all natty.
no. I mean, he's like 40. He's like 50. You know, I don't know how old he is. He's older though. He's been in wars. Uh, but I mean, shout out DL says, did y'all watch Alan Belcher BKFC fight? It was incredible. I fucking love Alan Belcher. One of the
I did
old school
not.
guys that gets forgotten about. You didn't like him?
No, no, no. I did not watch it.
Oh. I love
I
Alan
did not
Belcher.
watch it. I have to go back and watch it.
Alan Belcher all natty? Hell no. Look at his Instagram. That guy is jacked. But Tawanchai just throws one solid leg kick and the sound off the leg kick, it literally sounded like a bat being snapped,
Yeah, it was
like a
bad.
baseball bat. Yusupov just turns in immediately and is like, I cannot continue. It was insane.
When's the last
I've
time you
never
seen
seen it.
that?
I've never seen that.
It
I've
was
never seen
nuts.
that. Yeah.
Look, he was in severe pain,
It
man.
was bad, dude. It
Look at
was
Olivier
bad.
Coster, the
I
boss, dude.
know. He stepped in and was like, should I call this? Should I call this a knockdown? Should I like what?
He
Because there's a
started
Muay Thai
counting,
fight.
right? And then he waved it off.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, I mean, Tawanchai to just walk out there at that stadium. Someone in the OneFC chat mentioned like how kind of like poetic it was because you go to like this is like the mecca of Muay Thai fighting. You know what I mean? And you have Tawanchai coming back after making his debut there when he's a kid. All this stuff, and he comes back for a title fight, and he comes out there and finishes it with a leg kick KO. I mean,
It
you
was
can't write
nuts.
it better than that. I mean,
Hey,
just
when you went
incredible.
to ONE FC, did they give you that light up bracelet too? Yours lit up too?
You mean this right here?
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
sick, dude.
dude. So that's the other
They
thing.
showed Stan Fairtex on there like waving, and I was like, damn, that bracelet's sick.
Well, that's all the lights you see in the background.
Yeah, it's
One
awesome.
FC's production, some people criticize it because it's like you can't really see the crowd. They black out the crowd. People are like, oh, I want to see the crowd reactions, which I understand. It kind of like makes moments bigger than they were. But so there's something about blacking out the crowd and having the ring, especially the ring when the ring's like white like this, and you
Oh yeah.
have it super bright and the crowd's black, and you just see these lights sprinkled throughout from these wristbands. Uh, it really like puts the focus on the fights and like makes the fights feel like they're on a bigger stage, like they're in like this big shadowy void, and it's like everybody's watching this. Like it's a really cool look they have.
It's legit. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Keith says Romero was watching F. Hey, Keith. Yeah, dude, I was watching Formula One. And
I'm not
again,
gonna
was
lie.
it a recap of last season? Yeah, it was. But still, I've been waiting for this for months.
I'm not gonna lie. When you sent that, I did screenshot it and I did put it in the OneFC chat.
You son of a.
And I was like, I need people to jump in here on Sunday and roast this dude for watching Formula One when we host an MMA podcast and there's live fights that he told me
Dude,
he was gonna watch.
I needed to watch Max Verstappen's rise to supremacy. But anyways, that's for another day.
Yeah.
But yes, dude,
So we
Keith,
can move
man,
on.
coming in hard. I love it. I love it. What's the next one?
Short fight. We're gonna skip the Martin Nguyen fight. It was a good fight, but just for the sake of time, we're at 40 minutes, and I think we have a hard out today. So we're gonna go into Petch versus Zhang kickboxing bout, which was really fun.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start for Petch, huh? In this one.
And that's kind of like standard, right, for like Thai fighters. Real quick, Toshi says Gilroy High Wrestling does a similar thing for the Mid-Cal tournament for the finals, and it's such a sick feel in the venue. Black out the entire gym and spotlight on the mat. Super cool.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Shout out DL says LOL Belch on the secret juice for sure. Yeah, the dude's shredded. It's crazy.
Secret juice.
He looks better than he did ever in the UFC, and he's
That's
way
so
older.
funny.
But so yeah, Fairtex coming out. Yeah, slow start. That's kind of traditional Thai style, right? You don't really see it too much in the kickboxing, but clearly, like that. I mean, he's a Muay Thai fighter, so yeah, slow start, making reads, traditional Thai style there. Zhang did a good job in that first round, but then that second round, I mean, this
Man,
turned into a showcase.
Petch.
You know?
So the thing that like one of my favorite slow motion replays from championship fights is when Adesanya slips Whitaker's punch and counters with the shot as he's leaning back. And
yeah,
I saw Petch do this over and over and over again last night. Like he practices it, or like it's just second nature for him. It was just automatic. Dude, he was like in the Matrix. And I put down on my notes, like the definition of seeing a fighter in his flow state was watching Petch last night in the second and third round. It looked
yeah,
like everything Zhang was throwing his way was slowed down
yeah.
for Petch because he was just moving out of the way perfectly and just countering as he's moving. It was beautiful, man.
He would hit that check hook.
It was art. It was art.
Yeah. I mean, it's the martial arts, you know.
Dude,
But
it was art for sure.
Zhang blitzing in, Petch just hitting that check hook and exiting out that same angle, matadoring him. I mean, just really a flawless performance. And I said in the chat, like this turned into a showcase performance. You know, this was like, what can Petch do? And it's almost like I mean, and he's older too. He's been doing it a long time. So, and you could see he was having fun, like after the fight, he was having a great time. Both of them were like laughing with each other and stuff.
It was awesome,
Uh,
man. Now,
yeah,
was
Keith,
it as exciting watching Verstappen come out of the garage and go around the first chicane? I don't know, dude, but
I don't
it
know what
was it
that
was good.
means. I don't
It
know
was
why.
it was good.
Are you saying garage?
Garage, sir. It's
Garage.
garage
Okay.
going forward, okay?
Going
But no,
forward. Toshi says, I
in all
like how one's
seriousness, it was
logos
amazing.
stay on. Toshi says, I like how one's logos stay on the gloves.
It's
It's
the
the bare
simple things
minimum.
in life. It's the
It's the
simple
bare
things in
minimum.
life. So funny. Dude, no, but the last thing I want to mention about Patch 2, again, so much in the flow state that there was times where Zhang would blitz in with some combos and just
Mhm.
like a matador, dude, like he would sidestep
Yeah.
and he would just go
And
right
then,
by him and he'd come in. Bah, yeah. Oh
yeah.
my God. It was awesome. Out the when I started watching this is when I really started to wake up again. My adrenaline started pumping again. And I was like,
Yeah.
here we go. This is what I needed to wake
Yeah.
up. It was good
Really
stuff,
good.
man.
And look at Zhang in this picture. Just got announced that he lost. I mean, how
Is he
cool,
crying or
like the
having a good
mindset.
time? Is he?
He's having a good time. He was cracking up. He was like laughing with them, and like they're just having a good time. Just put on a banger in front of in a historic stadium. I mean,
What
just
a performance.
that's what they're there for.
What a performance. All right. Which one are we covering next?
Yeah, so we'll move on to the next one. Saputra versus King Ad.
Yes.
King Ad, man.
Okay.
Long layoff
How,
too.
how old is that guy?
King Ad
Yeah.
or Saputra?
Saputra. No, Saputra. He looked
Yeah,
like he's
Saputra's
pretty
old.
old.
31. Not that
And
old.
both of them look extremely ripped.
Yeah, I mean it's OneFC. Let's go.
Let's go.
But
uh,
King Ad, I think when was his last fight? It's been a while since I've seen him. Yeah, 2021. So it's been a while. He had a long layoff. Uh, Came back, straight up leveled up his grappling. He's a striker before this fight. He looked incredible on the mats in this fight.
dude, the notes I have on him is he made some transitions look extremely effortless.
Yeah,
Really good grappling from him. Uh,
a spinning back
Again,
elbow. Oh my god.
creative. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But Sputra,
Oh, there it is.
again, dude looks pretty old. I
I
was
mean,
trying to look up to see how old is he.
he's 31.
Oh, he's probably just has a lot of miles on him, huh?
Got a lot of miles. Yeah.
Probably been
I
fighting since
mean,
he was like 11 or something.
that's how it goes over there. But yeah,
Jeez.
King had coming back after the long layoff and just looking like not only did he not miss a beat, he looked better than he ever has. I mean, he looked so good in this fight. And I was noticing the thing that I really noticed is that you can tell there's certain fighters who are very good at striking, certain fighters that are very good at like grappling, or they're just good in specific areas. Like, oh, this person really excels against the fence, or you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
man, King had just everywhere the fight took place, he looked so good. And I noticed like you can really tell a complete fighter when in weird transitions they're still scoring. You know what I mean? Like uh, you have like the awareness in every position to just even if it's just optics based, you're showing the judges like something. So when you in the third round, I think it was he was on Saputra's back, and Saputra kind of went forward, right? Didn't do a quite suicide roll, but leaned forward. King Ad is slipping off the top, transitions to the armbar as he's slipping, and locks it up, kind of like sets it up completely, but Saputra pulls out of it. But little things like that, just so it doesn't look like Saputra just threw him off. It almost looks like King Ed is transitioning to the armbar and just didn't quite get it. You know what I mean? Like there's things like that you show the judges, like even though this guy might be doing something and I have to defend against it, I'm still going to show something that makes it seem like was he doing something or was I doing something?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's like a complete fighter, man. I was so impressed with his return in this one. He's so good, so fun to watch. And Saputra's game as hell, man.
Hey, I enjoyed these fights.
You
They're
say it
really
every
good.
time.
They're really good fights, man. For me, like I said, this one was good. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But Patch, man, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that fight was
I'm a
sick, dude.
fan, dude. That
Yeah,
was fantastic. But I think that was it, no?
that's all we're gonna cover. Daniel Kelly had a big fight against Ayaka. That was a really fun match because Ayaka is like a kind of like Alexei Olenek, where it's like actually it's exactly like Alexei Olenek, where it's the scarf hold that she's really good with, um, and hit the scarf hold like 3 or 4 times. Almost got an armbar out of it, and Danielle Kelly is just taking her back. All this stuff, just really good transitions, fun grappling match. Yeah, Andrew Tosi says now cover F1. 10 minutes left, boys. Man. But yeah,
it was a Red Bull
OneFC.
year, Toasty. It was a Red Bull year. I'll say that for
You
sure.
know what that means, man. Red Bull's a drink. What do you mean it's a Red Bull year? Don't even know what that means.
No, but hey, thanks, Will, for telling me I should watch this card again, dude. It was good.
Dude, I tell you every time, man, just watch it. It's so good.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.